Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Perspective of the Truth. And I'm glad God has made it possible for me to come your way again. My name still remains Rotimi Oyekunle, the serving overseer of His Masterpiece Church here in Lagos, Nigeria. In this episode, by the grace of God, and in subsequent episodes, I will be talking about family, God's perspective. Family, God's perspective. And I'm sure you're wondering, what exactly is the import of today's teaching? It stemmed from one or two things that happened in recent times and the stirring of God upon the canvas of my spirit about the attacks happening to various families and different things happening that is causing breakdown of love, breakdown of relationship, breakdown of the family fabric and the union, especially between husband and wife and between parents and children. So the Lord stirred my heart to do a series on family, God's perspective, so that you and I can see God's heart about the family, and then we can all come to a deep understanding of what it means and how important it is to God. Number one, I want you to understand that if family was not important to God, it would not be the first institution He will create. Because the family was the first institution God created, that you would see in Genesis chapters number 1 and chapter number 2. Those are my references anyway. So in case you're asking, okay, he hasn't said anything about the Bible, and you're talking about perspective of the truth, I want you to understand that my reference for this period or for this series is Genesis chapters number 1, chapter number 2, and chapter number 3. I'm going to be speaking because of the limited time I have to let you understand that, number one, family, being very important, was the first institution that God created. And it being the first institution that God created, it means that marriage and family is the oldest institution on the face of the earth after creation. So after 7 days that God created man and the whole world, on the 8th day, 9th day, 10th day, He created the institution of family by bringing the woman into the life of the man. And then He said they should be naked and not ashamed, and commanded them to be fruitful, to multiply, to replenish, to subdue, and to have dominion over all things in heaven, on the earth, and everything that creeps under the earth. So we want to establish it that, number one, family is a very fundamental and pivotal institution to God. Secondly, the constitution and the definition of family must never be underestimated or lost in value. What do I mean? Family is not Adam and Steve, Eve and Eva. Yes, I'm sure some people would say family is defined by people who share mutual consent, mutual understanding, and mutual coexistence. Yes, to an extent it's true. That's what the contemporary definition is. But from God's perspective, a family is the father, the mother, and the children. The father, the mother, and the children. I'm sure you say so. If a man and a woman don't have children, they're not a family. Not necessarily, they're a couple. I'm not going to go into any debate with you, but I want you to understand that family is man, woman, and children. Because if the children were not important in the dimension of family, God would not have said to them as the first command, be fruitful. And that fruitfulness is the essence for which everything on the face of the earth flows from, which brings me to the third reason why family is important. That family is the foundation, or the how would I put it, the supply chain for which everything on the face of the earth draws its reference from. The church draws its reference and content from the family. The polity draws its reference and content from the family, meaning that a president came from a family, the Senate president came from a family, the chief justice came from a family, the state governor came from a family. Every single person is a representative of who their family is, and their behavior is a reflection of what their family values are. Yes, I know that there are exceptions from which when people meet with the Lord or begin to read books, they begin to change in their understanding and in their behavior and in their outlook on what the concept of family is. But I want you to understand that every single one of us, majority of who we are and what we do and how we behave, stems from the family we come from. So you need to understand that family is very, very vital and important. And the fourth thing I want you to understand is that family is that premise, or is that platform for which all the blessings of God comes into a man or a woman, into the life of the man and the woman. Because if you look at it in Genesis chapter number 1, I think it's verse 28, when God said to them, be fruitful, multiply, replenish, and he said to them, meaning that the concept of family is that platform for which when blessings are going to come, it comes within the concept and the context of family. That man and women, male and female, created he them, and then he blessed them. So you see that it was a them, it wasn't, and God did not bless him and did not bless her. Now I know that individuals carry blessings, but the blessing that God places on the individual is so that by the time they come together as a power union, they are able to raise godly seed. That you will see in Malachi chapter number 2, verse number 15. So I want you to understand that family in general is a very powerful platform and concept. It is not something that is just for humanity alone, because you will see that the Bible says the families in heaven and on earth are named. So I bow my knees to God my Father, by whom all the families in heaven and on earth are named. So there are families in heaven and their families on earth. We will see that again being buttressed in the book of Hebrews, when the Lord said that the cloud of witnesses. So because we are so surrounded by so great a cloud of witness, let us lay aside every weight and every sin that so easily besets us, looking unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith. So there are families in heaven and their families on earth, by which everything is named. So the concept of family goes beyond just being here. It is something that affects and influences both heaven and earth. So today I want you to go with the knowledge and understanding that family is important, and that family is a God concept to influence, affect, to bless, and to shape humanity. Till I come your way again for the second episode, stay blessed and remain under the loving grip of Jesus. God bless you.